Hola, ¿qué tal amigos? ¿Cómo están? Buenos días, buenas tardes y buenas noches. No importa la hora que sea, siempre es un gran momento para aprender español con Profesor Pablo. Thanks for tuning back in. We continue with our study of commands. We know the present tense is loaded with stem changing and all sorts of quirky things. Well, a lot of that quirkiness comes through in the all 5 commands as well. So we have to take it step by step and make sure we cover all those problem areas. Well, we're looking at, in the present tense, G to J verbs like recoger, to pick up. You know the yo form ends in O, recojo, but it's with a J. But the G to J in the present tense only happens in the yo form. But the G to J in the all 5 commands is going to happen in all the opposite vowel forms. In other words, the usted, the ustedes, the let's, and the negative 2. The E to I in the present tense is all but nosotros. Take the verb like pedir, to ask for something. It's pido, pides, pide, but the we form is pedimos. It doesn't stem change. And then piden, all but nosotros. So in the present tense, the G to J is only the yo form. The E to I is all but nosotros. But when we go into the commands, the G to J is all the opposite vowel forms. In other words, these forms right here, usted, ustedes, let's, and negative 2. The one that doesn't go from G to J is a positive 2. What about the E to I? That happens in all 5 commands, all the way through. How do we form the usted formal command? That's how you start off with your commands. You take the yo form of the present tense. It ends in O. All but 5 verbs do. Estoy, doy, soy, voy, and say don't end in O. All other verbs do, whether they're stem changing or not. This is pido, P-I-D-O, pido. That E changes to I, pido. Now we got to go to opposite vowel for IR verbs is A, pida. Once you get pida, you've got all 4 of these. Pida, pidan, pidamos, no pidas. The positive 2 would be the LA of the present tense, would be regular vowel, pide. Repetir would be repita, repitan, repitamos, no repitas, and repite. Servir. Tell an usted person to serve the food. You take sirvo, E to I, and take the O, throw it away, and add the opposite vowel, which is A. So now you have S-I-R-V-A, sirva. Here you go. Sirva, sirvan, sirvamos, and no sirvas. The 2 command positive, sirve with an E. Seguir, to follow, S-I-G-O, sigo. Change the O to A, S-I-G-A. Here it is. Siga, sigan with an N, sigamos with an M-O-S, no sigas with an S, and this would be sigue with a G-U-E. Remember the verb seguir, that G is a hard sound. What happens with a G when you put an E after it? It becomes soft. So sigue, we have to insert that U in there, sigue, G-U-E. Remember, anytime you hear gay, it's always spelled G-U-E. Corregir is in red because not only is it an E to I stem changing, but it's a G to J verb as well. So if we want to get the yo form, it would be corrijo with an I, corrijo, and with a J. Corrijo. Take that O, throw it away, get the opposite vowel for IR verb, which is A. So now we have corrija, corrijan, corrijamos, that's correct. No corrijas, and here it would be regular vowel, corrige. Corrige with a G-E. Why? Because corregir, it's a soft G, right? That's why you leave it a G. Corrige. Conseguir, it's done the same as seguir. Consigo, here we go. Consiga, consigan, consigamos, no consigas, consigue with a G-U-E. Perseguir is to chase or pursue. It's the same as seguir and conseguir. Persiga, persigan, persigamos, no persigas, and persigue. And then we have vestirse. That's E to I. The yo form would be visto, V-I-S-T-O. So we're going to take that O and change it to an A, so it's vista, V-I-S-T-A. Take your se and put it at the end. One word, vistase. Now listen to the word. When I say vistase, if those vowels are piano keys, which one am I hitting the hardest? Which is the stressed vowel? Every word has only one stressed vowel. Vistase. Well, the vowel that I'm hitting on the hardest is the I. It's 3 back. What do we know? Any vowel that's 3 back is going to get an accent mark because it breaks both rules of pronunciation. So vístase with an A-S-E and the accent's on the I. Let's go for our G to J. When does a G switch to J? In all the opposite vowel forms. Not the regular vowel, positive 2, but all the opposite vowel forms. Proteger, to protect. The yo form of the present tense would be protejo. Why does the G change to J? Because proteger, that's the soft G. So when we say protejo, we need to maintain the integrity of the verb and have the soft G sound. That's why G goes to J. Protejo, J-O. If we put a G, it'd be the hard G, protego. It's not proteger, it's proteger. So proteja, right here, it goes proteja, protejan, protejamos, no protejas. And here's protege with a G-E. Coger means to grab. This can also be the nasty verb in slang in Spanish. It can be the F verb. So be careful with this verb. Coger means to grab or to catch the train. Coger el metro. Okay? So cojo, C-O-J-O, right? Change the G to J. And bring on the A, replacing the O. So it's coja, cojan, cojamos, no cojas. Let's catch the train. Cojamos el tren. And then here the positive 2 would be coge with a G-E. Escoger means to select or to choose. The yo form would be escojo with a J-O. Here we go. Escoja, escojan, escojamos, no escojas. Let's choose a big one. Escojamos uno grande. Let's choose a small one. Escojamos uno pequeño. And then the positive 2 command is just regular present tense, escoge with a G-E. Recoger means to pick up, like pick up the trash or pick up something, right? So recojo with a J-O is the yo-O form. Change that O to an A, you have recoja with a J. The J all the way through here. Recoja, recojan, recojamos, no recojas. And then recoge with a G. Dirigir is to direct. So the yo form is dirijo with a J-O, put an A in place of the O, and you have the J all the way through. Dirija, dirijan, dirijamos, no dirijas, dirige with a G. Exigir is to demand, to demand. Exijo is a present tense yo with an O, get rid of the O, and add an A. Exija, exijan, exijamos, no exijas, all with a J. Exige with a G. The last one, fingir, is to pretend, to fake it out, to pretend something. So finjo with a J, put an A in place of the O. Finja, finja, let's pretend, finjamos. No finjas, and finge with a G-E. So we see that the G to J changes in all the opposite vowel forms right here. But the G does not change to J. The G stays G in the LA positive 2 command. The E to I changes in all 5 commands, all the way through. Once again, let's go with servir. Sirva, sirvan, sirvamos, no sirvas, and sirve. So those are how we do the G to J and the E to I verbs that we learned in the present tense. This is how we handle them in the all 5 commands. And so you'll see that there are some changes, but it's not difficult. In your language learning module, you're going to hear pedir, you're going to hear pido and pidió and pidamos and piden. That E to I, you're going to hear it so many times that language learning module is going to grab it and put it in there. And it's going to help you know that when you get to the commands, the we form, pidamos. Let's ask for ice cream. Pidamos helado, right? That E to I is going to be in the language learning module. So again, we're making you aware of all of this. And the more we go over E to I and G to J and so on and so forth, it's going to stick a little bit better. We're reinforcing the concept. And as we go back over it, guess what? You're developing your skill, your confidence, and your knowledge level. So keep it up. So what do we have here? Z changes to C in front of an I or an E. We didn't have any cases of that here. We know the opposite vowel for AR verbs is E. For ER and IR verbs, it's A. And we know that 4 of the 5 commands are opposite vowel. The usted, ustedes, the let's, and the negative 2. We know that the positive 2 command is regular vowel. So that's today's lesson for all 5 commands. We've got a few more to go with commands, but that's it for now. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, es todo por ahora. Hasta la próxima lección. Tengan un gran día.